What's up, gamers? Welcome to my latest Planet Zoo project, Mataaho Island, a Polynesian paradise that I'm building in a diorama map. So let's hop right into the speed build. So this project is sort of a fantastical build. This is not supposed to be realistic at all, and it's not even really a zoo. It's more of like a showcase of, I guess, the Oceania pack items, and hopefully I'm able to capture the spirit of Oceania and Polynesia with this build. That's what I have in mind, at least. So the name Mataaho, I just did a Google search for what the Maori god of volcanoes would be, and that's what I found, at least on Wikipedia. I'm not even 100% sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'm saying Mataaho, like there's like a little pause in the middle of the word, and I know like a lot of Polynesian languages will have that kind of sound in it, but I don't know if it's supposed to have that. So if anyone has any idea how you pronounce the name of the Maori god of volcanoes, feel free to let me know in the comment section. But yeah, so I'm working here on this gigantic face that I decided to build out of these lava pieces. And when I saw these lava pieces, that's where the inspiration for this project came from. And I was like, let me get on that. Even though I've been working on Afro Ka for over a year now, and I told myself, I was like, hey, you gotta finish that project. You can't go around and not finish stuff that you start, because you do that all the time. That's what I told myself. But then I've been working on it, like, especially since I started uploading to YouTube, I've been working on it really hard, and I'm proud of that. But at the same time, it's like eventually you sort of run out of gas, and your creativity for that specific project, I guess my creativity, I don't know why I'm saying my creativity for that specific project is running a little dry at the moment. I wasn't 100% sure what to do next, and so I decided, why not take on a new project, something smaller to get out a different creative itch, I guess. So instead of building a African zoo, I'll make a Polynesian island with these new pieces. So yeah, I saw these lava pieces and I was like, I know what to do with these. I'm gonna make a volcano, but not just any volcano. It's gonna have like a face in it, and it's gonna represent the god of volcanoes. So I looked up Maori carvings to see what those would look like, and I would base this face off of these Maori carvings. And they all have this sort of similar style going for them, which I tried to replicate here, and I think I got pretty good, to be honest. I like how it turned out. Also, if you're wondering why my voice sounds weird, I still have the cough going on. I've already had to cut the audio recording multiple times and redo stuff, because I still do be coughing, and my voice is all messed up. I don't know what it is. I don't got no other symptoms. It's just a cough that won't leave. I'm gonna jump ahead in the recording a little bit, because I feel like you don't need to watch me place down 100,000 rocks for a half an hour, even if I do have this sped up by 10 times. But anyway, I really like this new Oceania pack. I'm behind the hype on this pack pretty significantly. But to be honest, it feels like there hasn't been a lot of hype for this pack in general. I've read a lot of comments on social media or on YouTube, and a lot of people just like aren't super fussed about this pack. And I feel like it's more just kind of like, as a general, people aren't as fussed about Planet Zoo as they used to be. Which is kind of sad, because I really, really, absolutely adore this game. Like, in my head, it's like, how could you not just love this game and want to play it every day for the rest of your life? How is this not, like, fully integrated into your daily schedule because you love it so much. That should be the only way that you should be allowed to live, because this game is that incredible. But I guess other people just aren't as big of fans of it as I am, which I mean, to each their own, which is interesting because most of my favorite games are like single player story driven games, but then Planet Zoo is just absolutely magical and I love it and adore it. And I think these new pack pieces are like really, really good. I've heard some people compare this to like the Twilight pack, where the pack is too themed, or at least the pack pieces are too themed. I disagree. There's a lot of just like general wood pieces, which are just nice to have in any build. Honestly, the more wood pieces we can have in game, the better. I would love that just very much. The only thing that's like disappointing for me in the pack is that the thatch pieces are not flexi color, because now we have like 4 different styles of thatch and none of the thatch is flexi color. But to be honest, I wouldn't have really wanted this thatch to be the flexi color one, because it's not as versatile as some of the other thatch pieces that we have. Like if we just got flexi color channels for the old African thatch pieces, that would be incredible. I would love that. So getting back to the build, something that I saw in pretty much every Maori carving that I found on the internet is that they all have their tongues sticking out, which I feel like that most likely has some connection with the haka, which, if you don't know, the Maori people, they have this like war dance and chant that they do. It's called the haka, and like their war face, I guess, their threat face, they will stick their tongue out and like open their eyes all wide and to like scare their enemies, I guess. And you know, on paper it doesn't sound necessarily that scary. A bunch of dudes doing a little dance, singing a little song and sticking their tongues out doesn't sound that terrifying, but if that's what you think, then clearly you've never seen it. Watching a bunch of gigantic Polynesian dudes do their war dance, it's pretty terrifying. You know, it's nice that Polynesian people are actually very nice when you meet them in person. I spent time in LA, and there's a lot of Polynesian people around there, and they're just the loveliest people in the world, and they also just make incredible food. And where I live, there's not as many Polynesian people, and there's no Polynesian restaurants, which makes me sad because I love their food. It's incredible. But anyway, you'll see a bunch of plants pop up in the background. I already started working on foliage palettes because I got bored, and so I wanted to do something else, and so I did. Because that's kind of how Planet Zoo is. If you just do the same thing for too long, you'll just kind of get bored and burn yourself out. Which is why I'm temporarily putting Afroika on hiatus, so that I can just do this for a little while, finish this, hopefully relatively quickly, so that I can get back to Afroika and finish that eventually, because that's my first ever project. That's my baby. So I gotta finish that at some point. It'll be a while though. So here I begin working on the outrigger canoe, which is gonna serve as the entrance building, quote unquote. Honestly, I'm gonna have to leave the voiceover off here. My voice is starting to go, as you can probably hear. Fortunately, I already recorded ending to this video, so I don't have to worry about that. But I sound like I'm dying right now, so see you in a minute. Alright, so this is as far as I've gotten in this build so far. At least this is, I guess, what you would call the entrance area. The entrance being this here canoe right here. So you just show up on this canoe. I guess this is how this works. It's not really like this is a realistic build in any way, shape, or form. It's very fantastical. I just put this here as a sort of entrance so that I could have guests later on at some point. But yeah, I've decorated a little bit on the outside, a little bit on the inside. There's gonna be a lot more decorations at some point. And then you get off the boat and your frames die because there's a bunch of smoke effects over here, and the special effects in this game kill your frame rate. But then you have this little path here, and there's a left and a right way. So just showing you all these paths a little bit. The path itself is made out of the jetty bedding platforms, which I like the way that these look. These look very sturdy. Like, I thought about using these pieces over here, these new Oceanian driftwood floors, but they don't look super like sturdy necessarily, so I use these, the bedding platforms. And I find that that's like a just an interesting tool you can use. You can, because I feel like obviously most of the time when we build stuff, we go into the construction menu and we build stuff from here, but the facilities and habitat menus have a fair amount of decent building pieces as well. Like these little tables here are actually just the Oceanian benches. So yeah, you can just find different items from places that aren't the construction menu. And then also, yes, there are paths here. You'll see there's a little bit of a glowy thing going up through here on the edge of the path, showing that yeah, we have the null paths going through. But as you can see here, oh, it's invisible, it's floating. How did I do that? Well, it's not possible without free build, the free build mod, which is the greatest mod in Planet Zoo. But it's actually really easy. All you have to do is you have to have ground, like you'll see over here where the path is, and then you place your null paths on it, and then you just take the terrain stamp tool, set it to subtract terrain, and then just click on it and you'll delete the terrain underneath it, but the path will stay. If I do something like this, then you'll see the path is there. But that's just how you do that if you have the free build mod, which I would highly recommend. Such a fantastic, useful mod for this game. But yeah, this is the actual volcano itself. It's I promise it's finished. I will promise that it is finished as long as you don't promise to look at the back. All right? Okay, cool. But yeah, this is the whole thing. This is as far as I've gotten so far. And yeah, that's it for now. If you like this build, stay tuned for more, because I'm going to be adding all the Oceania pack animals, as well as some other friends from the Oceanian continent area that you'll see later on as I continue building this. But that's all for now. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.